So I was asked how I did a certain effect on a previous video, and it was just some text tracking, but I did have to change my process just a little bit from the ways that I saw it on YouTube, since this isn't typically what people are using text tracking for. So even though the process is extremely similar, if not pretty much still the same, this is the actual situation that the person who asked me about it will be using it for. So I thought I'd go ahead and make a video about this specific situation. So I will show you all what it looks like in my gameplay here. As you can see, it comes up and it's just basic. Of course, you can add all kinds of effects to the text or whatever you want to do, but it just follows the level. We will go back to where I originally had some text, which is right up here. I had some text. It was above these burners. So we will go ahead and do that just as an example. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you are somewhere in the realm of where you're going to want this to happen. Like I am right now, it's going to go right here. So then you're going to go to the Fusion tab. You're going to hold Control, press space. You're going to search for the tracker node. Now, as you can tell, I kind of already have it typed in here. Just start typing tracker. It'll come up. This is the one you want. Hit add. If it's not already added to your line, just bring your media in to its input, the output to your media out, and now you are connected. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is just by pulling up the tracker node, you're going to get this green little selection window. Bring that to what you want to basically pin your text to. I selected this middle burner. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact. Now there are two ways to do this. The second one I don't think is going to have really any reason to be used unless it's an extremely special circumstance, but I'll still show you. The more common one is going to be where you just select your media, back up until you think that you want your text to come in. So for me, it'll be just when everything's starting to lighten up here. Now I'll reselect my tracker node and I'm going to tell it to track forward, and I will let it track until this text will be out of view. So now as this goes up and I see the text will be out of view, I just hit stop. It may come up and ask, are you sure you want to do this? Sometimes it doesn't. If it does, just hit yes. Now what you do is you want to go back to your media node so that way you can back up and see where you're at here again. Okay, now we can see the area we're going to be working with. We're going to grab a text node. We're going to bring it down. Take the output of the text, put it into the tracker input. I had typed the phrase, yes, this is what I was listening to. So now I have this, but you can't see it. So in order to see it, what you need to do is go to Tracker, Operation, and Match Move. Once you do that, you should be able to see your text just fine. Of course, you could do that beforehand, but if you hadn't, that's what's missing. So now you need to go back to your text and do what you need to do with it. I brought mine down to a proper size. You can go to Layout under Center X and Y. That is your side to side and your up and down. So I can just move this over to make sure that it fits where I want it. Y can go up and down, like I said, so you move that. So this is approximately where I want this to sit. Now this is going to sit here no matter what, until the tracking is done, which we know ends after this would be out of view. So now you can go back to your media and you can back this up, but the problem is it doesn't know exactly where to begin. Well, as you can tell, this begins way too soon. So what you want to do is back up until you want it to come in. For me, right here where it starts to lighten up is good. That for me is frame 268, as you can see right here. So now you go back to your text node and under global in out, you want to tell it to start at that frame. For me, it is 268. Now, whenever we're on frame 268, it's there. 267, it's not there. So if we back up and come in, this is how it looks. And then, of course, this will only go until the tracking is done. So that's the basic, simple way to do it. I think that works the same way in any other kind of basic text tracking. But like I said, a friend of mine just asked how to do it, and I know that he would be using it for this specific reason. That's why this video is being made. And so now the special situation that I don't know that a lot of people would find themselves in. I don't know how you really wouldn't have a good starting point to do something like this, but in case you don't, one thing that they do provide you with is you would open up another tracker node the same way, and then if it's not in the timeline already, just put it there. And then what you're going to do is select your box, put it in the same area. Now what you're going to do is make sure that you see what frames you're on. I'm on frame 439, and I'm going to track forward until I'm done. That's gone. I'm already good with that. I was on 439, so let's go back to 439. And now I'm going to track backwards until I don't need it anymore. There we go. I don't need it anymore. Yes, I'm sure I'm done. So now it has tracked forward and backwards. Again, I don't know why you wouldn't just have a good starting point like in the original illustration I did, but now you would do the same thing, bring the text node down, go to the tracker, put in your text, put in your, there's some sample text, go to tracker, make sure the operation is on match, and then, you know, we of course need to bring this forward now so we see where it's at. But now we can do all the same things, you know, pick the size, go to layout, pick where you want this to sit, and the same thing is done. You still have to do the same thing to where if you want this to start at a certain time, go to that. So I don't know, right here, what is this, 267? So then you would click your text nodule, you would go to 267 till that's where you want to start, just like before. 267, 266. If we were to back up and play this, it would come in the same and it would disappear the same. So I hope that helps with anybody who was just wanting to do some very simple tracking the text to their video. Hope you all have fun with it. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.